Right, so as I was saying, truth tables are basically where you take a P and a Q, and it does not matter what they are. So remember, P and Q are just variables. They just mean some value. So what I'm going to make P be is dark chocolate is the best. That's my statement. Dark chocolate is the best. Okay, that's my P. I'm going to make Q, white chocolate is good. Alright, so these are just random sentences. It does not technically matter whether you agree with P or Q. Okay, that's not the point of a truth table. Alright, so we have 3 different kinds of truth tables. The first one is the most familiar recently, what we've been doing, is a conditional. Okay, so remember, if P, then Q. That's what conditional is. Okay, or the symbol for it was P and then an arrow to Q. So when you're doing a truth table, there are 4 scenarios, but you need 5 lines, 5 rows, because the top one is for your titles. Okay. Right. So your first column is for P. You can either just put P if you've identified what it is, or you can put what it is. So P is for dark chocolate. I'm not going to put the whole sentence, it doesn't fit. The second column is Q, or whatever Q represents, however you want to put it. So it's for white chocolate. And then the third column is for your conditional. So if P, then Q. Okay. Now, we're talking about true and false here, just like we have been for the majority of this part of the unit. Good news is, if you're dealing with 2 things, there's only 4 options, no matter what. Either both parts are true, only the first part's true, only the second part's true, or neither part is true. There's no other option that can happen when you're dealing with 2 things. Okay? So that being said, this piece of the truth table right here works for every truth table you could ever write. It never changes. I mean, you might write them in a different order. Maybe you put your 2 falses first, and then your trues, and then your ones of each. But it never changes. It's these values, because those are the only 4 options. There's 2 things. It's like a 2 by 2. Okay. So if we write our conditional statement using what P and Q are, remember it's if P then Q, what would my sentence sound like?
If dark chocolate is the best, then white chocolate is good.
Yeah, if dark chocolate is the best, then white chocolate is good. All right, so that's our conditional statement that we're going to determine whether each scenario gives us a true or a false. So if it's true that dark chocolate's the best, and it's true that white chocolate's good, is this sentence true or false? It's true. Okay. If dark chocolate is the best, but white chocolate's not good, is this sentence true or false?
False.
False. Those are the kind of like more obvious ones, right? But if dark chocolate's not the best, white chocolate's good, is this sentence true or false?
False.
That's where the trick comes in. Remember the example we used with conditionals last week was, if I get paid, then I'll take you to the movies. Well, if I didn't get paid, was there any chance I was lying?
Oh, no. So it's false. Or it's true.
Yeah. These are a little bit of the trickier ones here, is because if the first part's not true, and it says if, well, then you can't say I'm lying because that part didn't happen. That's the conditional. Okay? So whether we think dark chocolate is the best or not, that's our if. So if it's not true that this is the best, then whether we like this or not doesn't matter. Okay? So the key part here, notice there's only one false. It's only false, and this is true for every conditional. It's only false when the P which is our hypothesis, is true, but Q, or our conclusion, is false. That's the only way it's a lie. Because I said if dark chocolate's best. If it's not, then I couldn't have been lying. So that one's a little trickier to think about. But like I said, good news is this is true for every conditional that you ever write. So if you know it once, you know it every time. Okay? The second one that we have, the second type of truth table, it sounds like a new word, but you'll actually know what it is once you see it. It's a conjunction truth table. A conjunction is just a fancy word for a statement that uses the word and. Okay? And our symbol for this, new symbols, P and Q. This means and. New math symbol right here. It's like an upside down V. So when you have your truth table, you still have your 5 lines, because the top one is still your categories. You got your P, which is dark chocolate is best. You got your Q, which is white chocolate is good. And you've got your P and Q. You can either write P and Q like this, or you can just write and, whatever way you prefer. That part's up to you. Alright, so if we're going to turn this P and this Q into a conjunction statement, an and statement, what would my sentence sound like?
Dark chocolate is the best and white chocolate is good.
Yep. Dark chocolate is the best and white chocolate is good. Sometimes you can reword based on what it is. Like say if P and Q were dark chocolate is good, Q is white chocolate is good, then you could just say dark and white chocolate is good, and it still has the same meaning. So how you word it will kind of depend on you, as long as it means the same. So what did I tell you about this column?
A hypothesis?
What are our scenarios that can happen?
Oh, the true, false, false, true, false, false.
Yeah. Either they're both true, just the first part's true, or just the second part's true, or neither's true. When I said that this part never changes, I meant it. It literally never changes. So no matter what the truth table is, this is the scenario you get. Okay. So in this case, dark chocolate's best is true. White chocolate is good is true. So is this sentence true or false? It's true. Okay. Here, dark chocolate's the best, but white chocolate's not good. Is this true or false? False. Because what does and mean?
Both of them.
They both have to be. So here, dark chocolate's not the best, but white chocolate's good. Is it true or false sentence? False. And then here?
False.
Yeah. So good news here is with a conjunction or an and statement, it's only true when both are true. Because and kind of means both. Okay? But good news is these answers match anytime you have a conjunction. Anytime you have a conjunction. Alright, and our very last one, again, new vocabulary word, but it's not going to be something you don't know. A disjunction is just a statement that uses the word or. Okay? And the symbols for that, P or Q, this is the symbol for or. It's like a V. It's the same thing as this one, but they're just flipped. So we have our 5 lines. Three columns. P, Q, P or Q. P was dark chocolate is the best. Q is white chocolate is good. All right, what goes here?
The true, 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 false, false, true, false, false.
Yeah, same scenarios. Because no matter what P and Q are, these are the only things that can be, there's no other options. They're both true, just one's true, or neither is true. Because this matches every other one. So help me write our sentence with the word or, our disjunction.
Dark chocolate is the best, or white chocolate is the best.
Yeah. Dark chocolate is the best. Or white chocolate is good. Alright. So let's start with the bottom instead of the top this time. Okay. Dark chocolate's not the best. White chocolate's not good. Is this true or false?
False.
It's false. Okay. Here, dark chocolate's not the best. White chocolate is good. True or false sentence?
True.
True. Because it says or, right? Okay, here, dark chocolate's the best. White chocolate's not good. True or false sentence?
True.
True. Okay. Here, dark chocolate's the best. White chocolate is good. True or false sentence?
False.
This one's the tricky one here.
False.
When we use the word or in our everyday language, we think you have to choose. If your mom says spaghetti or pizza for dinner, you think you've got to pick one. But technically, the word or implies pick one or both. So if you told your mom both, mathematically that'd be correct. Now that doesn't mean that's what she'd want to hear. But the word both implies that at least one of them. Okay? So this one is actually true as well. But our instinct is to put false there. So that's the one you got to remember, really, because it is kind of against what you might think. We think both means one, but it means at least one. Okay? So this one, unlike the one here, is only false once. It's only false when both are false. Because if either is true, or if they're both true, then you get a true statement. Okay? But much like the other one, anytime you have a disjunction, these are your answers. It doesn't matter what P and Q are.